Hello everyone, this is Varsha. Welcome to Programming Knowledge. So in today's tutorial, we will cover one of the most important interview questions, that is how to handle multiple windows. Now in this tutorial, we will understand what is window handle. We will understand some methods used for handling window handles. Also, we will cover some interview questions on getWindowHandle and getWindowHandles. Now in the previous tutorials, I explained about the browser commands. I explained all the commands except the two commands, that is the getWindowHandle and getWindowHandles. These are the two commands which is used to handle the multiple windows. Now for example, this is the window. Now if I click on this is the new window. Again if I click on this is the next window. So these are the child windows and this is the parent window. Now the problem is, how do I switch from this window to this window? Now sometimes you may come across a complex scenario where you have to open a new window, okay, and you have to perform some desired operation on the open window. Like for example, this is the parent window and by clicking on this new window button, I opened a new window and I have to perform some operation on this. So in this case, how do I switch from this window to this window? So this is what we are going to learn today. Now handling multiple tabs or windows may seem complex in the beginning because it involves some different commands which is new to you, so as in beginner level. So it will be complex in the beginning, but once you get to know how to handle it and once you get a hang of it, it will be very easier for you. Now there are many ways to handle multiple windows. You can use a JavaScript executor also method, but we will be covering the basic method to understand how to switch between the two browsers. Now here, if I want to switch from this browser to this browser, how am I going to do that? I'm going to use the window handles value. Now what is the window handle value? A window handle is basically a unique identifier that holds the address of all the windows. It is basically a pointer to a window which returns a string value. This is the window, right? This is the parent window. And this is the child window. Now if I want to switch from this to this, I will be using the window handles. That is basically the pointer or the address that is given to a particular browser. For example, if I assume this parent window is having a pointer of value, some string value, it will be a very long string value. I'm just taking up an example, like suppose C21. Okay, and over here it will be something like D21. Now if I want to switch from C21 to D21, how am I going to do that? I'm going to use some specific commands. Okay, and yeah, these window handles are dynamic, so it keeps on changing. There's no fixed value for it. They're dynamic in nature, they will keep on changing, and it is a pointer to a window which returns the string value. Okay, so there are some predefined methods of Selenium that can be used to handle the windows. First method is the browser commands that I have explained before, but I didn't show the practical implementation, so we're going to implement it today. So first is that the getWindowHandles and the getWindowHandle. Now there's a difference between the both of them. The getWindowHandles is used for retrieving the window IDs of multiple open windows, and getWindowHandle is used for retrieving the window ID of the current focused window. For example, now the getWindowHandles will retrieve the window ID of this one as well as this child window and this child window. Okay, whereas the getWindowHandles will retrieve only the parent window handle value. Okay, whatever value this window is going to have, that value it will retrieve through getWindowHandle. So this is the basic difference between the getWindowHandle and getWindowHandles. And the next method that is used, that is the switch to method. Now if you want to switch from one window to the next window, we will use the switch to command, that will be driver.switch to .window. Next, how we're going to implement this is we're going to execute 3 test cases today. The first test case will teach that how to print the value, how to print the handle values, and we will learn the difference between the getWindowHandle and getWindowHandles. The next set of test case will teach us that how to switch and navigate to the other sides also. Okay, and the third test case we will know how to close the browser, like the parent window we will close and then we will close the child window. How do we do that? Okay, so let's first start with the first test case. Open your IntelliJ IDE. So this is the Java class that I have created, that is a Selenium tutorials 14, and I have created under the package com.selenium, and These are the three basic commands that we always write. First is the opening the Chrome browser, navigating to the URL and maximizing it. Okay, so first that open a Chrome browser, navigate to the URL. This is the new URL, so I'll simply just copy this and I'll paste it over here. And I have to maximize the window. Next we have to print the parent window handle. Okay, the parent window handle is this. This is the parent window handle that we have, and these are the child windows. Okay, so we have to print the parent window handle. So what you're going to do is, I will write driver dot get window handle, because I have to print the parent window handle, so I'll use the get window handle over here. Because this returns string, so I will store it in a string type of variable. I'll name it as parent window handle. So string parent window handle is equal to driver dot get window handle. Next I'm going to print it, so I'll write s out the parent, and I will write parent window handle. Okay, this will print the parent window handle value. Next it says that click on the new window button 3 times. That is this one, new window button 3 times. For this I will be using the for loop. So I'll write for int I is equal to 1, I less than or equal to 3, and I will increment it. Next I will write driver dot find element by dot xpath, and I will place the xpath over here. And what operation do I want to perform is the click operation, which is one of the WebElement command. So over here I have clicked 3 times. Now let me give some time so that we can see the execution properly. Now let's execute this. Now my Chrome browser is launched, it's navigated, it's maximized, the window is opened. This is the next new window, and this is the next one. Here you can see we have 3 windows over here. Okay, this is the child window 1, this is child window 2, this is child window 3, and this is the parent window. So I'll just close this. Now the next test case says that we have to print the window handles. We have to print all the window handles. So I will write over here driver dot get window handles. Now this get window handles returns set. So this get window handles returns a set of string type. And why set? Because the get window handles are unique in nature, so that's why it's set. And I have named the variable window handles and is equal to driver dot get window handles. Now because I want to print all of them, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the for loop. So I'll write for, and over here because it's of string type, so I'll write string and I'll name it as handle. Next the values from which it's going to store in handle is from the Windows handles, and here I will print it. And now let's execute this. So my Chrome browser is launched, it's navigated, it's maximized, the child window is opened, the second child window is clicked, the third child window. And now let's see their values. Here it is. The parent window handle is, this is the parent window handle. These are the child window handles and the parent window handles. So here you can see there is a difference between get window handle and get window handles. The get window handle, it returns the window handle of the currently focused window or tab. Here our currently focused window tab is the parent window. Whereas the get window handles, it returns all the windows that is handled or launched, including the parent and the child. So that's why there are 4 window handles over here, including the parent and the child. There's a parent window as well as a child window in this, okay? Which are all dynamic in nature. It is having all unique values, okay? Now, this is the basic difference between the get window handle and get window handles. Our next test case is open the Chrome browser, navigate to the URL, maximize. We have printed the Windows parent window handle. Also, we have clicked the new window button for 3 times. Then we have to print all the window handles, and then we have to switch to Windows. Okay, now here comes the switching command, that is the driver.switch to .window command. Okay, so to switch to Windows, here I will write. So here in the for loop itself, first I'm printing the window handles and then I'm switching. So first I will print to which window it is, and then I'll write driver.switch to .window, and inside the window I will write handle. I have to navigate to Google. So what I'll do for that, so basically it will switch and then it will navigate to the Google. So here I will write driver.get and I will paste the Google URL over here, and I will maximize it, driver.manage.window.maximize. So let's give the time limit over here. I'll write thread.sleep and I'll specify some time. Here I'll write driver.quit so that the browsers are closed. My Chrome browser is launched. It's navigated. It's maximized. The child window is opened. The next child window is opened. The third child window is opened. Next, first the parent window will be navigated to google.com. The next child window will be navigated to Google and it will be maximized. Then the next child window will be navigated to Google and maximized. And here the third child window will be navigated to Google and it will be maximized. So till now we have learned how to switch and navigate. Over here I'm switching and navigating to Google. Okay, so this is what we learned over here. The next third case says that we have to learn how to close the windows. Now here I used driver.quit, so it just closed all the browsers including the parent window and the child window. But if I use driver.close, it will close only the current window handle that is handling. Okay, that is in execution. So here what we'll do is, now over here currently there is no window in current. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to switch first. I'll use driver.switch to window, and here I will write the parent window. I want to close the parent window first, so I'll switch to parent window first. I will write driver.close. So while switching, let's write thread.sleep and I will give some time over here. Okay, the first is right. We will switch to the parent window and then we will close it. Next, switch back to the other windows and quit the browser. Now at this point of time, there is no focused window. After closing the parent window handle, there is no focused window, so we have to switch back to some window. For that, I am using a string type of a variable. I will name it as last window. I will use this variable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write driver, because I have to switch to the other windows. I'll write driver dot switch to dot window, and I'm going to write last window handle over here, and I'm going to use the driver dot quit command. Now to see the execution properly, I'll write thread dot sleep, and here I'll give some time. Here also I'll write thread dot sleep and I will give some time. Okay, so now let's execute this. My Chrome browser is launched, it's navigated, it's maximized, and then the child window is opened. The next child window is opened and the third child window is opened. Now the parent window will be navigating to google.com. Then my child window will be navigating to google.com and it will be maximized. Again the same process, it will be navigated to Google and it will be maximized. Again it will be navigated to Google and it will be maximized. So the parent window is closed first, then it is switching to some tab, and it is quitting the browser. Okay, so here we have learned how to close the parent window and how to close the other browsers also. So these are the 3 test cases that we executed. The first one, we learned that how to print the handle values and what is the difference between the getWindowHandle and getWindowHandles. In the next test case, we learned how to switch and navigate to the other side. We were navigating to Google and we were switching through driver.switch-to.windows command. In the third one, we learned how to close all the windows. First, we switched to the parent window, we closed it, and then we closed the other windows. Okay, so these are the 3 test cases that we executed. Next, let's cover some interview questions on getWindowHandle and getWindowHandles. Okay, so one of the most frequently asked interview question is that what is the difference between the getWindowHandle and getWindowHandles? Now the main difference between the two is that the getWindowHandle returns the window value of the currently focused tab, that is the parent window handle, right? Whereas the getWindowHandle, it will return all the window handles including the parent and the child windows, as we have seen in the example. Now the return type of getWindowHandle is string, whereas the return type of getWindowHandles is set, because the window handle is always unique and it is dynamic in nature and it keeps off changing. Okay, so that's the reason why it is set. So this is the basic difference between the getWindowHandle and getWindowHandles. Okay, so the next interview question is how to switch to another window in Selenium. Now to answer this question, I divided the answer into 2 parts. The first is that define the methods of Selenium that can be used for handling the multiple windows in an application, and those methods are the getWindowHandle and the getWindowHandles. Switch to and window. These are some of the methods that will be used to handle multiple windows in an application. So explain this first and then explain the steps. The steps are similar to the test cases that we executed, that is get the handle of the parent window by using the command driver.getWindowHandle, print the parent window, then find the element. We found the element through XPath, so you can use any of the element locator. Now open multiple child windows, iterate through the child windows. We use the for loop for this. Now get the handles of all the windows that are currently open using the command driver.getWindowHandles, which returns the set. Why returning a set? Because it is storing unique values, window handles, right? It is storing unique window handles, so that's why it's set. Then use the switch to command to switch to the desired window, that is the driver.switch-to.window, and then close the browser. So these are the steps so that to handle multiple windows in an application. Okay, so the next interview question that is asked is what does the switch to command do? Now basically the switch to command is used to switch between the windows, frames and pop-ups, and when we deal with frames and pop-ups, at that time we will understand how it works. Okay, so now whenever the WebDriver launches a new Chrome browser, it is given a unique alphanumeric value called the window handle. And how to switch between the windows is that we use a driver.switch-to.window and the handle value is given over here. Okay, so this is what the switch to command do. Now this is one of the most important questions. I was asked in an interview this question, so that's why I have mentioned this. So as soon as you launch a browser window, do we get the Windows handle value? The answer of this is yes. Let's see this with an example. So as the question says that as soon as you launch a browser window, do we get the Windows handle value? So here what I did is open the Chrome browser. I'm launching the Chrome browser. and here I'm printing system.out.println driver.getWindowHandle. Let's see what output do we get. Here my Chrome browser is launched. It is not navigated because I have not given any URL over here. And here you can see this is the getWindowHandle. I have used the getWindowHandle command over here, and I can see a window handle over here, right? So this means that as soon as you launch a browser window, we can get the Windows handle value. There is no need to navigate to a URL or something, but as soon as you launch the browser, you will get the window handle. Next, is it mandatory to load a URL to achieve the window handle value? No. As we have seen in the example, here we are not loading any driver.getElement command, right? We are loading any URL over here? No, right? It's commented over here, you can see. So we can still get the window handle. So this shows that it is not mandatory to load a URL to achieve the window handle value. Okay, this question is something very important. So I was asked this question in an interview, so that's why I have included this question. Now, if you close the browser and then call the getWindowHandle or getWindowHandles on driver, you will get no such session exception stating session ID is null using the WebDriver after calling the quit. Now, basically it says that you open the Chrome browser. I just launched the Chrome browser, I did not load the URL, and I'm quitting the browser. Then I'm calling the getWindowHandles, and what type of exception do I get? Do I get this exception and what this exception states? We will understand that, okay? Now here you can see, I have already created this example in which I have launched the Chrome browser. I'm not loading any URL. I'm printing the getWindowHandle value over here after launching the Chrome browser. And then again, I'm calling driver.getWindowHandles. I want to know how many window handles are present over here. Okay, after quitting the browser. So let's see what output do we get over here. Let me execute this. Okay. Now here you can see we are launching the Chrome browser. The Chrome browser launched successfully. The Chrome browser was started successfully. Then not loading, we are not loading the URL, but we are printing the getWindowHandle value over here. We got the window handle over here. Next, after quitting the browser, we were trying to print the getWindowHandles. We were trying to know how many getWindowHandles value are present over here. For that, the exception that we got is no such exception, session ID is null using WebDriver after calling quit. This is the exception that we found. Now see, whenever the script is trying to find an element after driver.quit or after driver.close action in the Selenium scripts, or after closing or quitting the driver session, that is the open browser is closed, right? And at that time we are trying to find an element. So at that time there is no session that is active to find the element. The session ID is null, exception is thrown at that time when we try to find an element after driver.quit or after driver.close. Okay, so this is what is the meaning of no such session exception and session ID is null. Let's move to the next interview question, that is, does getWindowHandles method return handles in the same order as the Windows is launched? The answer is no. Let's practically implement this. Now here I have created a HTML code in which there are links like open Google, and here there is open Facebook, and then there is open Flipkart, and then there is open Snapdeal. Okay, these are the links. Now, does getWindowHandles method return handles in the same order as window launches? Let's find the answer for this. So I have already written a code for this, in which first we are opening the Chrome browser, I am navigating to it, and then I am clicking on Facebook, I am clicking on Flipkart, I am clicking on Snapdeal, I am clicking on Google. These are the sites that I am clicking on, and then I am trying to find the getWindowHandles and I am printing it with the title. So let's see which handle prints first. And according to the order, the order should be Google, Facebook, Flipkart, Snapdeal. This should be the order. Now let's see the order. So here my Chrome browser is launched. It's navigated, and here you can see all the browsers are opened. Okay, here the title is getWindowHandle. This is the parent window. This is the parent window. Now the online shop site India, and this is the Snapdeal. This is Flipkart, this is Facebook and Google. So basically it's the parent window, Snapdeal, Flipkart, Facebook and Google. But the order should be Google, Facebook, Flipkart, Snapdeal. Okay, so there is a different order. So that this means that it is not necessary that the getWindowHandle method will return handles in the same order. Okay, so the answer to it is no. So this is all for today. We learned some Selenium interview questions about the getWindowHandle and the getWindowHandles, which is very important and it is frequently asked also. And we also learned the difference between the getWindowHandle and the getWindowHandles. We learned how to handle multiple windows. We executed some test cases also. So this is all for today. In the next tutorial, we will learn how to handle the drop-down menus. So please like, share and subscribe this video. Thank you.